Let the bass kick.
Sounds pretty good. Oh man, it's like your favorite coat, and you thought you lost it when you moved into a new apartment, and then you find it 2 winters later, and it's like a cold day, and you just happen to find it before you go out of the house, and you put it back on, and you just, oh, I've missed you. You know, that's how this feels.
Yeah, it's like a big hug.
Yeah, it's like a big hug. And we got a new view of the studio. Now everybody can see all of our fancy toys.
See, that's what we're missing. All right.
I told you I had it.
Hold on.
Left me hanging. Awesome.
Oh, my bad.
Rock Fist in the Sapphire Lounge. What up?
Yeah. What up?
You gotta be jacking with my cameras. You gotta be jacking with my cameras. All right.
2 weeks, everything's moved.
What up? Yeah, we're still figuring a few things out. Like, apparently right now I've got to do... what's going on right here? Is that better? Yeah. There it is, focusing. Yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, we've got a new camera. Thank you to the one person who has donated to our new PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Thanks to Justin Morris, super fan Justin Morris. Call snaps to Justin. So we'll do a little housekeeping real quick. Let's see here. You guys have totally just killing me, Smalls. All right. Yeah, little housekeeping real quick. So, breaking news on the Last Cash podcast. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Coming to you live.
It's extended news brief.
Live. That's the Sapphire Lounge at 6 o'clock. We've got frisbees.
What is this? Is that the Predator?
That is a Predator. That is a Discraft Predator, and it's beautiful. So I'm holding up this Predator for everybody to see, and I got another disc right here. This is an MD2, Discmania MD2. So what we're doing tonight, and you guys know that we've announced recently that we've added some things. As I mentioned, we now have a PayPal, and welcome to episode 27. It's 27. We're creeping on up. But yeah, we now have a PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. We are able to accept donations and money from transactions and stuff, and we're working on getting some merch and whatnot. I was just on our team video meeting conference call thing with Dynamic Discs with everybody, the whole team all over the country, and
We are having way too much fun right now.
So you guys have seen, we recently were talking about, and we showed a stamp that we got for the podcast. So lots of news. We're just going to do this real quick because we're going to jam-pack this episode for you guys because it's been a week that we haven't been here. You can see I'm pushing all kinds of buttons. I've forgotten what my workflow is. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm lost in the darkness. Somebody help me. Coach.
Coach.
So
all you got to do, go back to the
basics. Light. Away.
Go back to the fundamentals.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, guys. First off, everything was delayed because of the Armageddon that we experienced over the last week. The cataclysm of biblical proportions that kept everybody at home for a whole week and gave everybody that works in logistics a whole entire week off. That is very rare. So, coming soon, we've got the Ogwood tags. They are in Nashville, should be delivered this evening. So I will be getting those to Ogwood sometime this week, and they will be there for singles this weekend. So you guys can go out there and support Ogwood by purchasing a Ogwood bag tag where it's all good. Next up,
awesome, by the way.
Yeah, and I've got a new stamp for my personal self of my very own. You guys can see it right there. It's been proofed by the graphics people, aka Jacob Torkelson. Thank you, Jacob.
You can zoom in on that a little bit if you can.
Man, you're just jacking with my process.
I want everybody to see the beautifulness of it.
They can see it fine at home. This is you just can't see it. Do that to him every 5 minutes, David. So yeah, that's don't do it to me though. So that's new. I've got a new stamp. So here very soon, according to the guys in Emporia, They are now finished moving into the new warehouse. Crates are arriving from Sweden. So within probably around the first part of March, I'll be able to place an order with Last Cash podcast discs and Will McCaskill discs. And I have told these guys, Marcus, Dr. Hoy, and Jay, if they would like to get their own stamps done up, we'll get them some personal signature discs as well. But look forward to that. So we'll have those available real soon, just as soon as we can. And we're also looking at some shirts and hoodies and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. My wife got me a pop socket with the Last Cash Pod logo on it.
No way.
That's what's up.
Pop socket.
I could sell those out the door.
Coming soon, a.k.a. next week, March 1st, we are going to have Murder Mike himself on the podcast. Mike Castillo, a lot of you guys know him. He kind of was one of the pioneers, in a way, of disc golf media coverage. He used to have some really popular videos back in the day, and he does a lot of stuff. He's got Murder Minis. He makes his own die-cast metal minis. He's an artist. He does work with Legacy Discs. He's got a gaming channel that's super dope. So I encourage you guys to check that out, Murder Mike Live. And then the week after that, on March 8th, we've got Jonathan Poole,
Mr. Nova,
TD of the United States Disc Golf Championship and the team manager for Innova Discs and many other hats that he wears. It's going to be really fun to talk to him and pick his brain about all kinds of stuff. So looking forward to that. And then also just announced today, Music City Open 2021 presented by Dynamic Discs. I will be donating a portion of the proceeds to Tennessee School for the Blind. Mm-hmm. A lot of you guys know we partnered with them for some fundraising over the 2020 season, and a lot of it kind of fell short because of COVID, but I was able to drop off a check for $1,000 that the club raised throughout the bag tag season last year. So that was really exciting. So we're going to try and raise some more money for them with the MCO. Going to be dope. Thank you. Hold that up to the mic next time you do it. That's dope. Also, we're going to talk a little bit later about the All-Star Weekend, the Disc Golf Pro Tour All-Star Weekend that happened. Of course, Paul Macbeth won. 12 down. No big surprise there. But we really cool stuff to talk about regarding Paul, though, that I want to bring up later. But then also the big news, Kona Panis taking it down on the FPO side. So that's dope. Congratulations to Kona. Yep. Thanks. Can you just come here every Monday? That'd be great.
Hey, man, I got them drops.
Right.
Thanks to Marcus.
This is so good. But yes, so I want to say yes, thank you to Justin Morris, who led the charge at supporting us financially through the various payment methods that we have available now. But what we're going to start doing on a regular basis until we get the Patreon set up and we kind of finalize what extra content we're going to give you guys, what I am going to do is every month, whoever is the largest contributor to the podcast is going to get something special.
All right.
Going to get something special. So because Justin was the first to donate and he's gone above and beyond in promoting the show, first off is going to go to him. I'm going to give him these two discs, this really pretty Discraft Predator,
nice,
and this MD2. So these are for you, Justin. I will have them with me, and we will link up at some point, and I'll get these to you. Thank you for everything that you've done to support the show. We really, really appreciate you, and it was awesome having you on a couple weeks back. Also,
thanks.
Yeah, Golf Snaps. And the last thing I want to mention as far as cleaning house, because we do have a special guest with us tonight, and we got another one coming. But you guys saw my post, some of you. There is a GoFundMe going on right now. Our friend Krista Gilly out at Ogwood, who has had extensive kidney issues for years and years, had to go in for a really risky and expensive surgery, and she is recovering. I actually saw her at Ogwood this weekend. She was out playing a little bit. Still feeling pretty rough, but on the mend, so that's good news. They have not gotten any of their bills yet, but thank you so much to everybody who has donated to the GoFundMe so far. Super generous people coming from left and right with big donations. A bunch of people have donated over $100. We've raised just over $600 so far. So it's GoFundMe /help with Krista Gilly's medical bills. It's on the Facebooks, and you can find it on GoFundMe. But what we're also going to do is that I'm going to at least probably leave that open for the next 2 weeks to 30 days. So anybody else that contributes $100 or more will get to pick a selection or two out of my personal collection. So I've got some rare, some limited run stuff, some autograph stuff, some special discs in there, and I'm going to put them into your hands if you can come find it in your heart to help our friend Krista out with her medical bills that are going to be coming up. So there's that going on. But tonight, talk about all sorts of fun stuff. Mainly, we're going to discuss some things that we lost in this crazy storm that we experienced over the last week. But here with us tonight is somebody who has done a lot of work in the disc golf community here in Middle Tennessee. He's worked with the Muletown Club, the Duck River Club, which are newer clubs that have been very, very successful and gained a lot of momentum. Middle Tennessee Disc Golf Association. He's been at all of our events, and he's been running a lot of stuff out at Briar Scratch Brewery. 2 signature events come to my mind, the Sauce Toss and the Frost Toss. And the Frost Toss was scheduled to come up this weekend, got postponed, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But golf snaps for my friend, David Wiley Nelson.
Boom, 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 boom,
Welcome
boom,
to the
boom,
Sapphire
boom.
Lounge.
So that's not quite clapping for it's not quite applauding yourself, but it's
Nope, I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
I'm not applauding myself at all.
but he did it with one hand.
Yeah.
So that's impressive.
I didn't even put my
Clapping
hands
with
together.
one hand.
But you
That's
did
good.
push.
Yeah.
But
put
you
my
know,
I got the joke.
Welcome.
splitting hairs. Yeah, welcome to the Sapphire Lounge. David, for you guys that aren't familiar with David, you now know his resume, but he has been on the show before. But it was before we did audio, before we were here in the Sapphire Lounge. So what do you think of the digs, man?
Man, this place is dope.
Thank you very much.
Look
Yes,
at this.
sir.
Look at this. We got the mics. We got the quality headphones.
It's pretty sweet, right?
Got the lights.
Try to.
Quality.
I think the last time you were on, we were audio only. We were at Jay's house, and
Yeah,
right
yeah.
after we started recording, you dumped a giant glass of whiskey on your mom's computer.
I did. I was trying to do it remotely, and had to download this app and get connected and all that, and
Sometimes it happens.
sometimes you dump things on your mom's computer, and sometimes she's mad at you. And
Thankfully,
okay.
now
hey,
you're
we came through.
right. And thankfully, now you're up the holler. You got your own place, and you're dumping your whiskey on your own computer. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's a beautiful life out there, man. We've got enough land to have a 10-hole disc golf course as it is now, and the neighbors are just awesome out there. Everybody looks out for each other, and have given me permission to use their land, neighboring land, for a full 18. So full 18 might be in the close works for the Wonky Tonk, which is my home course.
I love the name.
The Wonky
Yeah,
Tonk.
that's good.
Well, see, the Wonky Tonk, the name, it was up for discussion.
The Wonky Tonk is canceled.
Whoa.
That is,
Whoa.
Wait.
that is no longer the name of the course.
There we go.
That's a little bit more. That's a little bit more.
That was totally
All right,
accidental.
a little bit more
Mark is
upbeat.
in charge of the drops now.
He's the man for the
Definitely
job.
should
Let me
not
tell
have
you.
picked
Let me
this
tell
up
you,
at
he's
all.
the man for
I
the
was
job.
not trying to go there.
No, because there's a lot of wonky that happens out there in the holler. A lot of our friends, we just like to have fun, and we get down a little bit, and then there's also some tonk out there. Just some good old country boys that like to throw frisbees and like to tend to their land, and there's a lot of parties out there where the two intermingle.
Yeah, for sure.
And we bring the best out of both worlds out there. So it really is beautiful to see that come together out there. And I've been wanting to live out there for several years, and finally got me a place out there. And it's been beautiful, man. I was lucky enough to meet up with Eddie Money, which has been my lifelong friend out there. And I've known him for, going on 16, 17 years now. And I've known Brad Singleton, which is the owner of Briar Scratch Brewery. Shout out, Brad.
Golf snaps to Brad.
Hello, Brad.
Why are we buying cameras and lights and shit?
man.
This just made the podcast 5 times better. And here I am cussing. I'm thankfully, though, because
Well-
I know that we're going to have you and we're going to have Stokely on tonight. I went ahead and put the parental advisory sticker up.
Yeah.
So I don't have to wait for somebody to drop an F-bomb for that to go up.
I think it should just stay up.
It- well,
Permanent part.
sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not necessary. Like with
Sometimes.
yeah.
Rarely.
There are some fine, upstanding citizens that we get on this show from time to time. From time to time.
Sure, I hope I'm one of them.
I don't know about fine and upstanding, but I like you.
I heard you're a citizen.
Well, I don't know. I have to ask the government about that. All right, no, but yeah, it's been a blessing.
Cottontown's
to
beautiful,
live out
man.
there.
Yeah.
It definitely is beautiful, man. It's a piece of Tennessee that not a lot of people get to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's back there in the Bursby Holler, and it's at a dead end road, so you're not going to get to go there anywhere else. You're not going to get to drive through it. You're not ever going to get to see that property. And they've been gracious enough to let us use their land out there. It's property behind the brewery, not actually connected to the brewery or connected to Briar Scratch Brewery. essentially. But you got to take an old rock road down there, and you got to have 4-wheel drive to get back there. And it's 0.8 miles past the brewery, and it's set up on just a beautiful piece of land. And people get loud out there because that's what the Frost House is about. You might hear a Frost House, and
I love it.
the entire day is filled with 80 people yelling Frost House, or in the summer case, Sauce House, all over the property. It's not one of those tournaments that you want to sign up for thinking you're going to play good and get mad at somebody for yelling in your backswing, because
Oh well.
people gonna yell in your backswing.
If you get mad about it, we're just gonna laugh at you.
It's not like a razz round or anything. We don't really encourage any razzing or anything like that. We always want to be respectful and everybody play a good game and all that good jazz.
Just don't be on your cart because it just might happen.
But
yeah.
there's a lot of good times had out there at the Snake Farm, which is the name of the actual property
Okay.
behind Briar Scratch Brewery.
What's the story behind that?
Well, Brad's dad.
Get that mic a little closer to you.
Brad's
now.
dad
You
is,
can just pull it to you.
yeah,
All the way to you.
is the one that
Oh, yeah, there he goes.
came up with the name, I guess, and I think he just liked the song "The Snake Farm"
Yeah.
and decided to name it that. I've been out there 5-6 years now and have not seen a single snake.
Okay, now riddle me this, because it seems to me that Snake Farm would also make a pretty acceptable name for a brewery. Would it not? Snake Farm Brewing?
Snake
Does that not have
Yeah.
a certain
I think
ring
that's
to
true.
it?
That's got to be out there somewhere.
It don't
for sure.
mean a thing
I don't know.
if it ain't got that.
So where did Briar Scratch come from then?
I believe because of all the briars that are located on the property.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You are,
That makes sense.
You're not gonna get.
Didn't have to dig too deep to find that. Solve that mystery.
It's you'd have to ask Brad Singleton about that, which I'm not a representative of Briar Scratch Brewery, but I'm sure he'd be able to answer that question. But if I had to take a guess, I would imagine if you went off course on the Snake Farm property or on the Briar Scratch property,
Yeah,
there
okay.
might be a good chance you land in some briars,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
and you might get a Briar Scratch.
Yeah. Hey, the logic is sound.
See, now we were thinking, this year, or maybe at the Sauce Toss, maybe not this year. When everybody signs up, we'll just have a briar on the table, and instead of getting signatures for the waiver, you'll just get a scratch with a briar,
And you got to sign it in blood. Make your
imprint in
mark.
blood. Yep.
There you go. Fingerprint. blood
Maybe they
fingerprint.
cut down all the briars to make the brewery.
And then we have DNA.
Then
and
you're a
everything.
super spreader, and you've got the newest outbreak of COVID in
Way to go.
rural Tennessee.
Hey, it's just for safety purposes, man.
No, man, but yeah, Cottontown's dope. Jay, you and I went out there with Jared, and Dr. Hoy was there, I think, too, was he not? Or was it just me, you, and Jared, I think?
I'm having trouble remembering what you're talking about.
That
but-
place called the Fit Farm that's out there.
Oh,
in Cottontown.
okay. Yeah. That's
Snake-
Cottontown.
Snake Farm.
Well, there's the Snake Farm, but we went to this place called the Fit Farm.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like this
It
resort
was
place
Coop
for
and Dr.
weight
Hoy.
loss, and they had like this big community fitness outdoor like recreation day.
okay.
It was
We
like
had-
boot camp, but like for.
But they've got disc golf baskets
for-
out there, and we set up a little stand and
like-
taught people how to throw and did some demos and stuff. It was fun, but
was fun.
it's just a beautiful spot out there, and it's just far enough out to be like super pristine and
What was that challenge they were doing
untainted
while we
by
were there?
society. What
What kind of challenge was it they were doing?
they had
While we
green
were there.
berets out there running an obstacle course.
Some kind of crazy.
Like carrying crazy rucksacks and like climbing up and down towers and jumping over stuff and like doing like a big circuit
was
around the
pretty
entire
intense.
property. It was very intense. We watched them doing it all day.
Yeah, it was definitely different to being at an event for basically networking.
Yeah, but there's a lot of history out there too.
A lot of history, man. Yeah, I actually did work on the Bridal House, which is right at the end of Bug Hollow Road. Did some stone work on the bottom of their foundation. Me and DJ Wicks, actually the co TD for this tournament, Frost House, and yeah, he's helped me a lot out with the tournament and helped me with that job. We worked together on that job, and Bridal House was built in like the early 1800s by Thomas Cotton's daughter for his daughter Elizabeth, and man, the logs on that thing are 3 feet wide. So they cut down a real big tree to make that cabin.
Oh,
and it's very historical. It now is a historical monument, which gets taken care of by the city. So yeah, it's a lot of good history out there. And there's even like one cabin one way up on the hill where that feeds into this other Longhorn rancher's property that has been said and been known that there's an actual tunnel leading down from Underground Railroad days. So I mean, Cottontown does have some rich history in it, and so it's nice to.
There's some future Patreon content. We do a on location episode where we go do like a ghost hunt in an Underground Railroad tunnel.
Okay.
What?
All right.
Yeah. Content, bro. More
Okay,
content.
Yeah, sure.
But it is amazing. You know,
I'll be there.
We put it on the storyboard.
The property that I'm sure 100 years ago they never thought that a bunch of idiots would be out there throwing frisbees, yelling frost toss on their land. I don't think they expected that. But we are going to have a damn good time. I can tell you that.
So that was the whole idea behind the things we lost in the storm. So I mean, yeah, clearly Frost Toss was postponed, and
Yes, that was a tough decision.
Yeah, and then followed by another tough decision these days is finding a date, especially after you've already picked one.
Right,
you're reaching for the bottom of the barrel,
and had to go back on a date. Correct. Yes. Scheduling is hard these days, man. There's so much disc golf going on out there, and you're never not going to run into overscheduling. And the thing with the growth of disc golf, especially through this pandemic, has been tremendous. I mean, it's increased, so much percentage that it's hard to keep up with. We've got so many new players in the sport, and you're never not going to overlap. It's just there's so many people in different regions. There's enough golf for everybody,
right? And
so, that's a different topic. But we did have to reschedule because of the snow. Yeah. 74% of America got covered. So the course is already kind of treacherous to walk. It's not a very kart-friendly course, and we didn't think that people would have a very good time trying to navigate the course in the snow. And we went out there the day of the Frost Toss as a unofficial Frost Toss day, about 12 of us or so, and played the course, and it was beautiful. It was so beautiful.
I saw pictures.
It was so beautiful, man. I'm telling you, like it was the actual Frost Toss. Like there was icicles everywhere and snow on the ground, and the creeks were so easy to cross, and the snow was crunchy, and you didn't slip. The tee pads weren't rocky. They were nice and flat and beautiful. I think we could have had the event, but with 80 people out there trudging that course,
half of them wouldn't have tried, and somebody might have gotten hurt.
2 rounds, and the risk of one person getting hurt, even though we signed waivers and knowing what we agreed to, I do think it was the best decision that we made.
For sure. And I've often said this, I think that a tournament director or anybody running an event has 2 prime directives, and the first is safety, is do everything you can
right.
to not create an opportunity for somebody to hurt themselves. And then after you've done that, give the most awesome, valuable experience that you can for the money. You know what I mean?
Well, I think at check-in, I'm highly considering getting a snow machine and just, giving some people some kind of snow experience for the
snow
Frost.
cones. Snow cones?
Oh,
what?
Snow cones!
Yeah.
Hey, you remember when Alpo did the thing out at
the ice cream
Freshies
guy?
and had the? Yeah,
I got the same guy to come to the Sharp Springs for the skeeter heater.
Dope.
I called him up and we had ice cream for the skeeter heater. The best idea ever. In the middle of the summer, Ice Cream Man shows up.
I believe that guy showed up at Cane Ridge a couple times.
Come
too.
on now.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
perfect.
That's the best TD move anybody can make. Any other TD, if you're listening out there, in the middle of the summer, if you got an idea for a tournament that's just going to make everybody happy, call the Ice Cream Man. Maybe 2 of them.
I've got
No, maybe 2. It was that serious?
Oh, it was that serious. The line was stretched around the block.
That's
You
amazing.
should have seen them.
I got a funny story that's a testament to the truth of what you're saying. It was Music City Open 2019. We were at Ravenwood. Not long after, Jay, we had gotten chewed out by Michael Johansson about the way the course was at Ravenwood. Mm-hmm. Well, you were the one that got the chewing, weren't you?
I was trapped in a spot.
So why don't you tell the story, because you were there firsthand? I believe I
There's
dodged
just no
that
story.
one.
I don't call it a chewing. I just got I was basically pulled around with the guys from Central Coast, trying to show them the course on the side by side, and pulled around. 16, was it? Right where people were putting and people were teeing off, and there was a line. And so I was stuck basically using the side-by-side. It would be loud. And Michael Johansson was there under a tree. And he just walks up and proceeds to give me about a 30-minute, very detailed opinion of this course.
Yeah.
30-minute.
Every bit of it, probably. Because I was stuck. Like I said, I had to wait for them to tee off and the next group to tee off to actually be able to leave. And so it was on 17. It was as it went down the hill right as you went up, I guess.
Yeah, and, for in defense of Michael Johansson, and
he said he liked it by the end of the 3 days.
This story's going to a certain place, but just to say, obviously for those who aren't aware, Ravenwood was ridiculously long. It was record-setting long. I believe
it did.
In the
It
coverage,
set the
I
record for sure.
think Mo said longest course in PDGA history, and there were multiple holes over 1,000 feet. Obviously, that is not the type of golf that MJ is known for. So, it's not surprising that he would not be enjoying himself on that course. But it was pretty funny that not long after that, because we had that, what was their name? Brunner's or something like that? Brugger's ice cream truck. It was an ice cream truck that we had there that showed up at Ravenwood, and I think that there was a picture that surfaced not long after that whole interaction went down of Michael Johansson with this big fat ice cream cone, melty and all that stuff, and he's just got the biggest smile on his face.
Oh yeah, I've got a couple pictures
cream,
of that Eggland tournament with we're all just eating ice cream.
Yeah,
So good.
That's awesome stuff. So, new date once again for the Frost Toss.
Yep, new date is going to be March 13th. The 13th. I know I changed it on you.
Hold up them discs for the camera so
Twice.
everybody at home can see them.
I know I changed it on you twice. I'm sorry, guys.
It's fine.
We were even thinking
That's why
about
you're here. Yeah.
when we went out there and played on Saturday and saw how crispy the course was. I was like, should I make another post and say, who's down for tomorrow? I was like, no, you can't do that. Can't do that. So these are going to be the Frost Toss disc here. We got a
Beautiful.
Here, let me see it. You can talk about
Now, did you design that stamp?
I don't know if you can see that, but it's I did. I did design the original design. What you see, the guy there with the beer in his hand, yelling "Frost Toss," smashing into the basket, and I did have the help of another disc golf player in our community, Shantae Cox, helped with the outer ring. She put the outer ring of icicles on there. Thank you, Shantae. And we came up with this design.
That's awesome.
So
That's great.
It reminds me a lot, and this is, because you are another thing that we'll dig into tonight. I didn't mention too clearly that Scott Stokely is going to jump in with us remotely here in a little bit, but after we get a chance to talk to him, we'll dig into some more information about this. But your music, your album artwork was pretty interesting as well. And you did that yourself? Well, I know you're a very artistic person, right?
No, I definitely do dabble in the art, but the album artwork was not my own. I wish it was. It's great pen work done by a friend of mine's brother, Autumn Crisp. Her brother Philip actually did that album artwork, and it is some really dope artwork. And that's the Feeling Factory album. If you haven't got on there, Bandcamp.com, Feeling Factory, Wiley.
Wiley Wonka and the Feeling
Wiley
Factory.
Wonka and the Feeling Factory. That's a selfless shout out right
So
there.
good.
I
was going to bring it up anyway.
Working on new projects, by the way, too.
I saw the video you posted the other day. That was good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, and it's I've done the music thing too, and
It's just something I love, man. You
Yeah.
know, it's nothing I anticipate getting famous or blowing up over. If I can inspire one person with a song,
For sure.
then that's all that really matters to me. So
yeah.
Did you start in the shower, or how'd you get started?
man, I mean, since I was I guess my first studio time ever when I was 15 years old. So been doing it for a while, man. Just kind of fell in love with hip hop in general, and then over the years just fell in love with many other genres, and I'm trying to take that love for those genres and mix them all together.
Did you ever go to sleep listening to Boys to Men?
Yes.
Listen to what?
Boys to Men?
Yes. Yes.
No. I mean, I fucks with the voice to men. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, way back then, maybe. Right now, I don't know.
But I mean, they did have some hits though. Some ones you can't argue.
Ah, man, I love Boyz II Men.
Yep.
You
I won't argue that.
you can't argue a couple of them. No, you can't.
Dip, 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 dip. Yep. I totally got sidetracked now. No, but it's interesting, man, because like that was about the same time. Because I remember the way it started for me was like me and my best friend Josh, his older brother, and our buddy Mike. They were a little bit older than us, and they had gotten an apartment up in Albuquerque, and so we would. I remember one day we called them, and their answering machine was them rapping over a beat, like rapping about leaving a voice, an answer, leaving a message.
Man, why you
like,
calling my phone? Better leave a voicemail.
Right, that was what it was. That was on Peter's cell phone, and he was like,
Nice.
"You want
You ad-libbed that?
you want to talk to me? I'm gonna talk plenty. Hit me on my cell phone at 610-2020 and stuff like that." So then we would record messages on their on their answering machine dissing them. And then they would call us back and do the same thing. Right. And then I was like 14, 15 at the time. And then another one of our friends.
Hey, man, I'm leaving a message right now. If you don't call me back, I'm going to beat your ass down.
There's some kid out there going, what the hell is an answering machine?
Right. Voicemail. Same concept, voicemail. But yeah, then we met one of our friends had a buddy that was producing some music. And he had like a 4-track analog recorder and like some old janky stuff, man, and we kind of got together and pulled our money and bought like a Boss BR8 digital recorder and some other stuff, and then we started building it up after that. The dude that we did it with is he's running an actual professional studio in Albuquerque now called Matic Innovation.
Sweet.
But it was like, yeah, I understand the love and all that too.
It's a passion, man, you know. I mean, I think I'll always do it, you know.
For sure. Yeah.
You wake up living a life where you're happy and not worried about it.
I've been making these raps till there's aches in my back and a cane in my lap.
I mean, it sounds like you got some talent.
All right.
That's for sure.
On the podcast, the last cast.
Shameless plug. Appreciate that.
Could put me on the spot. Be like 97.
97.9.
97. Oh, here we got Wiley in the studio. We're going to put him on the spot right now. All right, DJ, spin that beat.
You actually go.
If only Dr. Hoy was here, dude.
That man.
Oh, yeah, he would kill it right now.
Oh, man, where is the good doctor when you need him?
Saving good folk out there.
Yeah, COVID stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I've hinted around it enough, and I don't want to dig into a lot of the stuff that I'm interested to talk to you about before when we're gonna have to jump off to get Scott on. So we'll take a quick break and we'll get Scott on, talk to him about what's been going down in the road life. I know he's been having some disappointing finishes at tournaments lately. He was really looking forward to making a push and elevating his rating, and I think the last several tournaments he's shot like 20 points below his rating. And he posted the other day telling everybody to roast him, like he needed some motivation. Like, tell me how stupid I am.
I'm looking forward to that Scott Stokely roast.
Yeah.
You asked me if I had any questions for him.
Yeah.
No, I just got a couple of burns.
Sweet. He's gonna love that. He's gonna love that.
I don't have anything lined up.
That's his thing.
I'm sorry if it's whack.
But now he's trying to do this 21 and 21. He's trying to go like 21 tournaments in 2021, but 21, like blackjack.
It's a pretty good schedule.
Yeah.
Dude, you know today's 2? Was it 2-2? 2?
What?
2-2-2-2-1.
Yeah. Next year at the same time it'd be 2-2-2-2-2.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
2-2.
Mark your calendars now. I'm kidding. They're already marked. They're already marked.
Somebody's like,
Cool. Yeah. So.
Let me get that drop machine back.
We're haunted. We got ghosts.
There you go.
We didn't even have to go on a ghost hunt. The ghost came to us.
Part 2 today. I can get that.
You brought
There's
the
a
ghost
part
from the
two.
Underground Railroad
like back and
tunnel.
forth.
what?
Liter of cola?
No clue what's going on right now.
All right. What up, Stokely?
In the house.
In the house. I hit the red button.
We are live.
In the house
Well, we're not live,
via web.
Yeah, we're living. We're living large and in charge.
Living
yeah.
large.
Hey, everybody. Scott Stokely just jumped in from the road where he is living his best life. And golf snaps for Scott Stokely. Welcome back to the show, Scott.
Hey,
Thanks for joining us.
Disc golfers on the road.
Thank you very much.
Support
Golf
your disc
snaps.
golfers on the
Oh,
road.
Yep.
Epic fail.
Okay, now we're better.
Yep.
back.
Yeah, Holly Finley liked the golf snaps too. Yeah, dude, thank you. I want to say thanks, Scott, because you were the only reason that I actually managed to get David out of the house tonight because he was kind of dragging his feet a little bit. And then I feel like I said, well, hey, just think of anything you might want to ask Stokely. And he was like, oh, I'll be there.
You should have done. You should have offered him daily foot massages because that's what got me to see you in Nashville.
That's
Oh
true.
my goodness.
Will.
true.
I didn't
You
know.
should have saw look on his face.
Oh my gosh.
I got the good hands, man. I got real strong hands.
He's the man with the strong
Yeah, and you didn't
hands.
tickle, which is like the key.
Yeah, you got to be
Tickle.
firm. It's a firm touch that's required for that kind of operation.
Technique is everything.
Technique is
All right,
everything.
see if my phone stays. See if the phone stays.
Looks pretty good.
Looks like
So
it's
cool.
gonna stay.
No, it's good to see you guys. I love you guys. You guys are my favorites. I love you guys. You and Smashbox are like between your two shows, man. I've had so much fun so many times.
We just got mentioned in the same sentence as Smashbox. That's a first.
Yep. We appreciate that. We appreciate you as well.
Oh, you're too kind, Scott. So,
Dust your shoulders off.
yeah, we have obviously it's been a little bit since we had you here in town with us, a couple of months, and you have obviously been on quite an adventure since then, as you are often
Yes, sir.
doing. So, where has the road taken you over the last couple months?
Oh dear Lord! After I left there, I went to, oh God, help me out, North Carolina, South Carolina. Yeah, I went to Atlanta. No, I went to Atlanta for a little while, and then North Carolina, all over South Carolina, back to North Carolina, and now I'm in Tennessee.
Back
I'm
in
on
Tennessee.
the Banjo Highway.
Driven around all my family.
Yeah,
East Tennessee.
I've just been all over the South trying to stay warm, and it's been 42 degrees and raining every day. So,
Well, rain's better than snow, right?
no, snow's better.
Turns out it's not.
Yeah, no, snow. So the thing about snow, like when it comes to disc golf, is the harshest weather is 34 degrees and raining, because then you're soaking wet and cold. But if it's just a couple degrees colder and it snows, then it's like it just brushes off your clothing, it brushes off your disc. You don't get like it doesn't soak through your clothing and get you wet. So like a couple, this is a Colorado thing, but 30 and wet is way better than 35 and wet.
Yeah. Well, I know you came south for the winter, hoping to avoid the cold weather, and then it was like a day after you got here, it snowed, and then of course this past week has been pretty effing terrible in terms of winter weather. So I know you said you've been in some pretty mountainous areas at pretty high elevation. So did you manage to get yourself caught in a real particularly snowy situation over the last week?
No, I was in South Carolina.
Okay.
So no, but we did get snow for Christmas. We went to Pigeon Forge
Yeah.
and Gatlinburg.
Mm-hmm.
Great cities, by the way. Oh my God. It's
The best place
Branson,
to be for
Missouri of
Christmas.
the South.
Branson. Silver Dollar City, baby.
Oh, it was.
Did you go to the to the
Silver Dollar
museum?
City is the best.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
man.
you've been to Silver Dollar City?
I grew up there doing family vacations. Being from Arkansas, it's like 4 hours away, so that was like one of the big spots we hit. It's the best place
Silver
ever,
Dollar
isn't it?
City is I love amusement parks. I go to them all over the country,
yeah.
and it is the best, like hidden gem, like amusement park that nobody knows about.
I'm telling you. What's your
It's like
favorite?
they got five legit roller coasters, 5 good coasters, but the best thing about it is you could you can get like a meal there at one of the restaurants in the park for like $12.
Yeah, it's
If you go to Six Flags, it's 30.
Yeah.
Well, they make like homemade old-fashioned pork rinds too, which is my favorite. Shows a little bit of my Arkansas lineage,
Yeah.
but
All right.
it's,
All right.
they fry them up, big kettle right there in front of you. They're awesome.
Silver Dollar
Oh,
City.
yeah.
So, but here's the story though. So we were driving from, we were coming actually. Now I remember we were actually coming to Nashville to see Will to work on the audiobook, and we left Colorado. And I told them we'd be in Nashville from
Yeah.
Denver to Nashville in 2 days, and it took us 9 days to make it. And the reason why is we just stopped to have lunch in Branson, and then ended up staying for a week.
Nice.
And what happened is that, like, Branson's the weirdest town I've ever been to in my life. But we get out of the car, true story. We're in downtown Branson, and the very first thing we see in downtown is a shop. It's a store
Yeah.
that is trying to diversify, right? So they don't just carry one thing; they carry 2 things. You know, that's smart business, right? So they have 2 things in their store, and this is it. They have Bible memorabilia, you know, posters, cards, little, you know, manger figurines, whatever. But they have Bible memorabilia and concealed carry purses.
Sounds
Now,
like
I swear, if you're from Branson, you can back me up. I'm
Oh,
not
I
making
believe
this
it.
up.
I believe
I'm
it.
like, that is what an odd combination. Well, not in America, right?
Especially in the
It's not
Bible
odd.
Belt.
But the store next door had a gigantic sign. Next door, concealed carry purses. The store next door, concealed carry purses. So the big thing in downtown Branson was that all the stores sell something and concealed carry purses. And I'm like, book us a room.
Yeah.
And we ended up staying. No, this is what I live for, this stuff. So we stayed for a week and had the best time.
Oh man, it's one of the best places. It really is.
It is.
You're right.
I think that's from
Everything
what I
about it was
understand, the
great.
courses
Yeah.
are pretty good up there as well. Have you played any up there?
We played a couple holes at one,
Okay.
but there's way too much other stuff to do besides disc golf in Branson.
That is so true.
And I think the only course up there is only a few holes anyway. I think
I
it's
think
like
they've got it 118 hole. There used to be a disc golf shop up there as well, but I forget what.
Yeah,
The
Smoky
tree-
Mountain
yeah,
Discs.
the trees.
Something like that.
Yeah, no, the disc golf. We went to the course. It was a good looking course. It was called like the Tree House.
Okay.
It was cool. It was all right, but like I said, there was more things to do than, like, we were too busy. Like, we couldn't do any of the shows because of because of COVID. We weren't going to do any of the shows, but they have, like, on billboards, they have the
Is
the
Yakov
concealed
still out
carry
there?
man. No, Yakov Smirnoff has his own
Yeah, is he
theater.
still there?
Oh yeah, he's not just there. He has his own theater called the Yakov Smirnoff Theater. But they had a Journey tribute band. They had a what was it? Creedence Clearwater Revival tribute band. I mean, they have all these bands that, like, if they, like, the real bands are playing county fairs. And they have tribute bands for bands that you can only see at county fairs. It was like, I don't know. It was everything about that city.
It's a trip.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah, it's a favorite in the entire southeast region. It's like one of those things where every summer, everybody, if you're in the southeastern quadrant of the country, you go to Florida, and then at Christmas time, everybody goes to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge.
It was beautiful.
It's fun in the summer
went
too. I've
to
done. Did you get to do one of those? I'm sure you didn't because of COVID, but one of those mountain coasters. Those things are badass.
Yeah, I've been on it too.
We did not do. We weren't doing any of the rides. We basically had to be super careful where we went.
Yeah.
So we specifically chose places that nobody else would go to. Like, for example, we got to go to a salt and pepper shaker museum.
Ooh.
Very
And
nice.
there were 40,000 salt and pepper shakers
Well,
in this one museum, and this is one person's life's passions. And we went there because, like, no one else was going to go, right? And so we weren't the only people in there, but we were close. We went to the Dukes of Hazzard Museum, or is that in Nashville? That was in Nashville.
Yeah, that
Never
one's in
mind.
Nashville or Tennessee.
I was gonna say I don't know about that one.
No, it was Nashville because Cooters, that they call it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So speaking of Christmas in Gatlinburg, your Christmas special was super awesome. I watched the whole entire thing.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. people are so isolated or have been out of necessity because of COVID that we thought it'd be a kind of a cool thing. So if you didn't watch the show, had a bunch of like top pros, had like 15 top pros, world record holders, world champions, come on the show for 10, 15 minutes each, and did like a Christmas show for everybody. And I don't know, it was nerve wracking thinking it was going to fail because it's like a live thing on Christmas, but it turned out that it went off without a hitch. So
yeah, and how complicated was that process? Because that was, I mean, it was a super cool idea, but just the scale of it, doing a live stream like that with so many people over that length of time, it seems like there's a lot of variables that could go askew.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even the slightest bit complicated. It was probably the easiest thing I ever did. You want to know how I did it?
Yeah.
Okay, Adriana, will you please set this thing up? I want to do a Christmas show with a bunch of people.
So basically, how you do everything.
Yeah, but it works. I mean, it was highly effective. So was it complicated? No. Was it hard? No. It was like, literally took me 5 seconds to set up. I asked her to set it up, and then she made it go. I also had, it wasn't just me. I also had, I don't want to get the names wrong. Oh my God. Well, I know it was Frolf Center. Of course, Frolf Center, but I wanted to get, oh God, I'm so sorry. But the Frolf Center team
Should've
stepped
come
up.
to you.
And
Frolfer Magazine, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They stepped up, and they initially consulted us on how to get it set up, what software to use. They were invaluable, like to it going off without a hitch, for sure.
Those guys are entertaining. I've watched their show a few times.
They're great.
Yeah,
they're cool. They're great. I love those guys.
Yeah, for sure. So I know you were down in Savannah, Augusta area, and you got to hang out with Valerie Williams down there from
Dude, she's so great.
Wicked Aces. But what's the name of her store? Yeah, she's awesome.
It's I just know Wicked Aces, although they name of the actual store is Specialty Sports.
Specialty
See
Sports.
how easy it is for me to remember. That's how easy it is for me to remember things. I say her name is, and then I look to my right. Adriana says Specialty Sports, and then I tell you Specialty Sports.
You know how lucky you are.
Quality.
Yes.
Thank you, Adriana.
Completely.
Hi, Adriana.
Val is one of the gems of our sport, and Wicked Aces is a fantastic company. I mean, she's someone that if there's a larger heart in our sport, I couldn't tell you who has it.
I mean, she's doing that grassroots. And she's doing it big. You know what I mean? Like, for her area, she's filling a gap. Like, everybody turns to all these big media companies, and we have a lot more of them now, like Jomez and Central Coast and GK Pro and Gatekeeper and all these Ace Run Pro, all these different media companies, and yet disc golf is still exploding at a rate where people are fiending for more disc golf content. And so and now it's like kind of a similar situation where we started here locally. It was, and still our podcast is geared to a certain extent to the local audience. But that's something that her community didn't have. You know what I mean? Their own media source, their own curated kind of presentation of what's going on down there. And she's doing a great job. And she's running tournaments, and she's working with Diversified Disc Golf, and she's doing all kinds of awesome stuff. So golf snaps for Valerie. Golf snaps for Valerie.
Hope she heals fast.
Yeah. And I know. Yeah, we talked about on one of the last episodes. She got bit by a copperhead, and her hand lost a lot of its mobility, and she's been recovering from that. So that's tough stuff. She's a tough chick.
Anytime
man.
you're getting, go ahead.
So it's also the PTSD of knowing that that can happen to you.
Yeah.
Just playing around a disc golf is sketchy.
And her home course is known for copperheads.
There's nobody that deserves it less than her, right? Of all the people. Like, I'll be honest. I mean, I everyone in this sport I like, and it's my friend, but at least 30% I would love to see bitten by a snake. But Val's not one of the 30%.
I'm not saying I hate the guy, but if he ever got hit by a bus, I'd be driving that
bit by
bus.
a snake's one thing. You don't have to die from a snake bite. You just get bit.
So I know.
I remember.
You'll go for it, Scott.
Oh no, I remember there was an interview on the news when John Ahart threw this great shot to win the World Championships, and Sam Ferrens was already in the clubhouse, and he was down by 1. And on the interview, they asked Sam Ferrens if he was hoping John would miss the shot, and Sam's a great guy, and Sam says, "No, of course, John's my friend. I wasn't rooting for him to miss. However, had he missed, I would have been happier."
That's a good response. Very,
Fair.
yeah, very. What do they call that? Diplomatic way to respond to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you've been having a little bit of some disappointing results with your tournament performances. What's going on with you, man? I know you were inviting roasts. Is that still something that's happening? Because I know David's really excited to roast you tonight.
No.
No, so I said that I was going to win 21 tournaments in 21 states in 2021, and I'm going to. That's going to happen. And I didn't get off to the best start to start my year as far as performances. I just didn't play well. I know exactly why, and it doesn't matter why, because I don't want to take anything away from people who played well. So I'm not concerned about it. But because this has been my big promotion that I'm trying to do, and I didn't play well, I posted to Facebook. I said, "Hey, you guys, I need you to do me a favor. I didn't win my first 3 tournaments of the year, and I basically said I need you guys to shit all over me." I said, "Don't be nice to me. Don't tell me I know you can do it or we believe in you." I said, "Just let me have it. Tell me what a dum-dum I was for making this claim." And within 24 hours, I've gotten, on my main page alone, I got like 525 burns.
That's awesome.
It's the most comments I've ever gotten on a post. But then I have 4 other pages as well. I got my disc golf method page, my podcast page, my pro player page, and so between all of them, I got about 600 people ripping on me for it.
There were some good ones, man.
There are some good ones. Well, the thing is, like I'm a teacher. I mean, I love teaching disc golf more than anything else in the entire world, and so me not winning a couple tournaments, I view that as an opportunity to teach. And the thing I'm teaching is, as much as, I mean, this is my life. I mean, playing disc golf is my life. It's my career. It's my livelihood. It's my brand. It's everything. But if I don't play well, it is still just a game, and it is still just fun, and it is about my friends. And so this is an opportunity for me to try to teach that we shouldn't take ourselves too seriously. And if I'm going to go out there every time I win a tournament and go, "Hey, I won a tournament," applaud me, then I have to be willing also, I believe, to go out there and say, "Hey, I got my ass kicked. Let me have it." I think they go together. So that's how I viewed that. But I didn't expect almost 600 people to be that excited about telling me how stupid I was.
You asked for it, right?
But I did ask for it. The best ones are like, there's probably 10 people had some variation of "those who don't do," or "those who can't do, teach."
Yep.
Ooh.
The
Perfect.
Now, really?
That's a really important thing to be cognizant of, though, is finding those opportunities where you don't feel like you performed up to par, but you still find the opportunity to use it as an example or a teaching point, or being able to help somebody else through that. I had a conversation with one of the guys in our community that's kind of known for his outbursts and emotional duress while playing disc golf. And I was talking about, that's why, it's important to set an example for people. And he was saying that he felt like he wasn't the right person to be that example. And I was like, well, no, man, you're the best person to teach people about it, because you struggle with it. You understand how hard it is to keep a lid on it. And, that's just a good perspective to have on that kind of thing. But I'm gabbing up a storm, and Jay hasn't said a word. He's quiet as a titmouse, and
just enjoy the conversation.
David's over there just chilling.
Oh,
I don't want
to
hog the mic.
I'll tell you something. Let me just add one more thing to that, though, real quick. Is that the same thing happened? I played the last 2 tournaments. I played open, and I got whooped on. I didn't play well either, but I also was playing open. But my first tournament of the year, I played MP50, and I honestly didn't expect to lose an MP50 tournament this year. I mean, it might be the only one I lose.
Yeah.
And the but I finished third. And so I posted a picture of myself holding my third place trophy, and a couple people actually commented or wrote like, "Why are you posting like losing?" And I
Damn.
felt like it was important.
Cold blooded.
Well, no, I mean, I felt it was important. Like if I'm going to post when I win,
Yeah.
then I
Yeah.
also I can't hide when I lose. I have to be
Mhm.
willing to post and say I got beat just as freely. I
Yep.
think it would be disingenuous to not do that. At least that's not how I believe you're supposed to do. I mean,
I mean, a lot
if
of
a
people do it that
UFC
way.
fighter loses a well, yeah, but if a UFC fighter loses the fight and then comes to the press conference and acts like a man, I respect them for that. You know, and by the way, or a woman who's, you know, a female fighter who loses, but if they're not in the hospital, they have a responsibility to go to the press conference, and just like if they won, I believe that's an athletic responsibility if you're a professional. So I will own my losses, although I hope I don't have any more. That'd be
Yeah.
more fun.
I'd be happy with a third place finish, but I'm not a great golfer. My sidearm sucks.
I'm gonna fix
Apparently, that's what we've been told.
He's gonna charge me.
You deserve it.
Oh yeah, I'll charge you,
Uh-huh.
but I won't charge Marcus.
Right. Right.
Well, speaking of charging for fixing sidearms, you got a cool new format that you're running with your disc golf instruction. You're doing what clinics, which you've done for years and for decades, but you're doing it in a kind of a new way, and you're also doing what you're calling a seminar that is more intensive.
Yes.
It's capped at a certain number of participants. So, tell us a little bit about how that breaks down and how that all came to be.
Absolutely. So you're right. So I'm in Nashville in 3 days on, I believe, Friday.
Yep.
I am doing my 500th seminar. It's a milestone for me. I've 500 seminars in 47 states, which, considering I took 13 years off in between, is like pretty intensive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I'm doing differently is, what I had been doing, I'll tell you real quick, what I had been doing for the previous 480 something of these seminars is I would stand up there and just talk and demonstrate for an hour. That's the clinic model the traveling clinic model that I created. Back in the 90s, I went to 220 cities doing a throwing clinic before any touring pro had even done one. I'm not saying some people didn't teach locally or on occasion, but I mean, I made it my job to travel around the country doing these throwing clinics pre-YouTube, teaching everybody around the country how to disc golf. That was my passion in between tournaments. So that's the model I created. That's the model most of the pros have done. Where I switched it up was that, well, in the previous 3 years, I've done about 1,200 private lessons. I've basically spent a huge focus on actually working with players, getting them to throw correctly, and developed a method. I'm sorry, I'm calling it the Scott Stokely disc golf method.
No, it's legit.
But it's a method of getting people to where they need to be. We all agree on the correct way a throw's supposed to look. Maybe some slight differences here and there, but for the most part, we all agree that's correct form, that's incorrect form. Like, here's how you're supposed to throw a disc. What I'm teaching, what I've developed is the method to get there. So in my teaching, it's not about this is what the throw looks like. Like if you could watch correct form, you would watch a pro tour video or watch a form review video and you'd go out and do it, right? It's not that easy. So what I've developed is the process by which you can get to throwing the correct way and get there very quickly. So in doing the 1,200 private lessons and working one-on-one, I've been refining and perfecting my teaching technique. So now when I do a clinic with what I'm doing, I've completely modified the format, which is I still stand up there for about an hour and I walk through and demonstrate step by step my Scott Stokely disc golf method, right? But my method to get you there on the backhand, sidearm, and putting. I do that for an hour. Then afterwards, everybody at the clinic gets to throw. And within a couple throws, I get them throwing correctly. We've already spent an hour teaching. We don't have to like teach anything new. So, you know, you throw in the backhand, there's basically 6 main things you have to do. You step up after the clinic for the form review, you throw. Well, guess what? Lo and behold, you're already doing 5 of those things. Your lines are good. Your head went back to the disc. you're planting first. Problem is you're pulling across your stomach, and your wrist is bent. Whatever whatever you're doing, but you're doing everything else right. Perfect. Ignore everything else. That's correct. But remember that one thing where you're pulling the disc across your stomach instead of your chest. Pretend you're starting a lawnmower across your chest. The person steps up, the disc flies 50 feet farther. They go, "What just happened?" But it's not like giving someone a tip on a course where someone gives you a tip and you go out and try it. It doesn't work. First, we lay the foundation of an hour of intensive process to get there, so that when you do throw, you've already got this imprint of what you're supposed to do. Then I just tweak it in a couple throws, and you're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. Oh my god, I've never thrown a sidearm that far. Oh my god." And it's beautiful. And then we just cycle through everybody, and when we're done, and it's, again, you're not just listening to me talk like a live YouTube video. I actually will then make you throw correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the clinics, and it's been so effective. I will put this in writing. I will never go back to standing up and talking for an hour again, unless it's a special occasion like a fundraiser or something. But I mean, my clinics, with Scott Stokely Disc Golf Method clinics, will always be teaching plus form review. You cannot have one without the other. You just can't.
Mm-hmm.
There's no more of like, wow, I went to so-and-so's awesome pro clinic, but I can't do anything he talked about or she talked about. So that's what clinics are. Now, the seminars is something I've just introduced. I've just posted a couple of them. This is a full day, 9-hour comprehensive seminar. We were going to spend an hour and a half on backhand power, an hour and a half on sidearm, an hour of putting, an hour of utility shots, an hour of finesse backhand, with an hour discussing mental game and strategy, etc. These seminars I'm limiting to 6 people. So it's more expensive, right? Instead of $30 for the clinic with a group of people, it's going to be $250 for a 9-hour seminar. But my private lessons that I've done 1,200 of went from $120 to $160 for a 90-minute private lesson. So it's $250, not one-on-one, but it's 9 hours. And the idea of the seminars is that I don't care what skill level you are when you start. When you're done, you're going to throw correctly. You're going to know how to throw. You're going to be better, but you're also going to have the correct mechanics so that when you practice tomorrow, you actually improve. And it's going to be a complete, comprehensive, every part of the game, even to a point where the final hour is going to be a flex hour, where we either go back and work on the stuff you were stuck on, or if there was anything we didn't cover, we're going to work on that. The idea is there's nothing left on the floor, the cutting room floor. And I've posted 2 of those. The first one in Nashville. Actually, there's an opening in Nashville, but the first 4 spots filled up within an hour, and then I only posted one more time about it. So there's 1 spot left Thursday in Nashville. If you go to look at any of my posts on the clinics, you can buy the last spot. Once that spot's gone, it's full. I'm capping at 6. I just posted to my second one in DC. It filled in an hour, and I will be doing these one-day seminars all over the country over the rest of the year, and I'll be posting the eastern half of the U.S. within a couple days. I'll have my entire seminar schedule where I'm going to be, but I'm going everywhere. So there'll be a couple in Michigan, a couple in Wisconsin, a couple in Illinois, a couple in Indiana, a couple in etc. So I'm going to be coming to you. They're all over the country. So thank you for letting me plug my business. That was probably not as interesting as some of the podcast topics, but I appreciate the platform to promote
It's an
my
interesting
business.
way of
Thank you
doing
guys for that.
things. Kind of a new way of doing things. So it's nice to have it on here.
Well, yeah, I love doing things new. I mean, if I was to toot my own horn, which I would never do.
Well, toot, but
beep, beep, Richie.
But
the horn.
I created the traveling disc golf throwing clinic. I was the first person to travel around the country doing the traveling double series. I wrote the first book on disc golf throwing technique. I did the first instructional DVDs. I did the first autobiography. Like you name it. Like, I mean, one of the things I've loved about this sport is I love creating the models that other people then get to follow. Like, that's fun for me, because this seminar model, I'm already training other people that are going to be doing these for me as well. So I love creating this model that other people can make money off of, because all those people making money off it are all my friends. Like, every touring pro that shows up in town and does a clinic that makes them enough money so they can stay on tour another week. I take pride in the fact that I started that, because These are my friends trying to make it on tour. Even if I don't know them, they're my friends. They don't know they're my friends, but they are. So this is new, but that's exciting for me. I love doing stuff that's new. I love reinventing the model and or inventing it, right?
Sure.
Good way to
So
keep
it's
yourself
cool.
interested and motivated. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, basically, I'm shallow. That's the truth. But right
Selectively
now, I
deep
eat,
is the term.
sleep. No, I'm shallow. All I think about right now is getting people better at disc golf. I eat, sleep, drink, seminars, clinics, form, mechanics. Like this is like this is where my mind's at. I want everybody to have correct form, and I want to be the best teacher in the world. So that's where I'm shooting for.
And you still have, we're going to recap real quick for everybody because I'm going to do my damnedest to get this thing uploaded tomorrow and hype it up. And I'll be making some more posts about the seminar and the clinic and stuff as well. But there's one spot left in this seminar. So anybody that is available does not have to work on Thursday or can get out of it. If you're looking to boost your game, this is a good opportunity to do it. And if you can't get out of it on Thursday, come to the clinic on Friday, or hell, do both. No, nobody's stopping you.
Yeah. You'll be shocked at how much we can get out of the clinic. It's not your traditional clinic. You're not just going to listen to me talk at you. You're going to listen. You're like, I'm like, you'll trip. I mean, if you don't walk away going, holy crap, I'm like better at this now, I'll just give your money back on the spot. Like, it won't happen. Like, what? No, I mean it. Like, that's like, I'll give you that. I'll give that offer to any private lesson I've ever done. If at the end of the lesson you don't feel like you got your money's worth, I'll smile and hand you your money back. I mean, I've told many people that. It's never happened. Like, I mean, this is all I do. I'm really good at this. And so I'm very proud of what I do, but I'm very confident too that everybody can throw with correct mechanics. Everybody can play better.
Well, I mean, there's not really anybody with more extensive credentials than you, so. But yeah,
I appreciate that. So
the one thing I want to make sure, clinic on Friday. So seminar, one spot left. How can somebody fill it?
Yeah, they just go. They follow the link off any of my posts on any of the basically Tennessee pages. There's the link to the seminar on my website, scottstokely.net. That has all my clinics and seminars listed. scottstokely.net. If you go there, there's a link and you click the button. It says it'll say one ticket left, and then you buy the ticket, and then it'll say 0 tickets left.
Sweet. And what's the schedule for the clinic on Friday? And this is for everybody, just to remind you, this is going down at Two Rivers Disc Golf Course. So off in the back by Bradley Parkway.
It's at 3 p.m. And it's basically 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. Although I will always stay longer. I will never leave until everybody is done. So if we have a slightly larger than group plan, I'll hang out late. That's not a problem. I want everybody to feel like they got their money's worth. But it's shocking how much we get done in what we do. I mean, go look at all the feedback on every South Carolina disc golf board about the clinics that I did. I mean, this works. It works really well.
Well, you're getting rave reviews across social media, and you have been since you've embarked on this new leg of your journey. And man, it's been exciting and fun to be along for the ride and to help you kind of push stuff out on the airwaves. I'm glad that it's
stand on the road, doing thing.
Yeah, I'm glad it's working out for you. And you have big news coming, so everybody needs to stay tuned to the Scott Stokely Disc Golf YouTube channel, the Scott Stokely podcast, and everything that Scott's doing online, because you have a lot of big news coming.
I do have some big news. In fact, I'll go ahead and spill it right now. The thing I'm going to do – oh, wait. Did you say – oh, that's right. We can't – I'm sorry. I just got – my director said no.
What just happened there? I thought we had like a little breaking news thing. No, we don't have any breaking news.
That's a breaking news. No, there is going to be plenty of breaking news. I got some stuff going on that's really, really neat, but that's all I'm going to say, because you can build stuff up too big and then disappoint. So, but some cool stuff is happening.
Well, we look forward to hearing about it.
Yeah,
For sure.
And
Yeah,
you know,
cool.
we'll have you jump back on anytime when you're ready to release updates.
Absolutely. 100%. Can't wait.
Well, I know you were kind of thinking that you would be able to continue with your driving while you were doing the podcast, and the video kind of derailed that plan. So I appreciate you making the detour, and I know Adriana is sitting over there bored to death, and I won't put her through any more of that. But you guys,
Be safe on your
Yeah.
journeys,
Be safe.
Yeah.
and we'll see
And
you
we'll
soon.
do a little less plugging of stuff on the next podcast and make it a little more fun. But like I said, I appreciate the platform. It means the world to me, and my business requires the community to market, because there's nowhere to really like run ads in this business. I mean, you either are counting on the community or the community not. And so our Frisbee family is really great about getting behind the people that they want to get behind. So I appreciate you guys more than words can express.
and before we jump off here, I mean, you know, we do this a lot, but this is once in a rare kind of opportunity. You got one of the most, if not the most, renowned disc golf instructors on the horn right now. Anybody have any questions, any burning inquiries?
Oh, ask away. Ask
David,
away. Let me
you have any
dazzle
questions
you.
about how to fix your sidearm?
Is it proper etiquette to throw over like your neighbors' homes?
we did
Yeah,
that
of
earlier.
course
I
it
did.
is.
I did.
Okay.
Marcus did.
Yeah.
With better results than the last time. It was pretty
Much better.
impressive tonight. It was a nice flight. So.
Nice flight.
But yeah, stoked to have you back in town again, Scott, and everybody. Once again, check out scottstokely.net. Follow Scott Stokely on the socials and subscribe to the Scott Stokely Disc Golf YouTube channel for further updates on the clinics and the seminars and when they're going to hit somewhere near you. Get signed up. Spots are limited, and you want to talk about bang for your buck. Could be the best money you ever spent in your life. You could be right now playing MA4, and you could be touring tomorrow. I'm just kidding.
Exactly. I will get, or I'll send your money back. Actually, by the way, tomorrow on
That's
Tuesday,
a
I'm in
guarantee.
Knoxville. I'm
Okay.
in Knoxville on Tuesday and Chattanooga on Wednesday.
Jam
So check out
packed.
the Knoxville or Chattanooga pages. Oh yeah, I keep busy. So Knoxville, Chattanooga, Nashville seminar Thursday, one spot left, and then the Nashville clinic at Two Rivers on Friday.
Sweet. Thank you once again, Scott, and we will look forward to
didn't
seeing you
think
here on Thursday and Friday.
Somebody else we should thank.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's her name? Adriana?
Yes, as always, thanks to the great and powerful Adriana, the glue that holds everything together in that Jeep. Are you guys still in the Jeep? I thought I saw something. You might be having some trouble with the Jeep.
Yeah, our Jeep got COVID and has been quarantining. Our Jeep has been quarantining the last 14 days at the transmission repair shop for some reason. I'm not sure why that was the best place to quarantine, but apparently after 2 weeks of quarantining, Luna is going to be healthy, and so
Good.
Nice.
yeah, no, we just the transmission went out, and we replaced it with a transmission upgrade and a cooler. So for those of you who are into
Ooh.
Jeeps like we are, like we're
Mopar.
going to be able to do some more intense stuff. So we're pretty excited,
Hell yeah.
right?
Well, y'all be safe. Get to where
Thanks,
you're
guys.
going, and we'll see you here in the next couple days.
Yeah, I think you guys. I love you guys, man. We'll see you there. I'll see you in a couple days, man. Can't wait.
All
Love
right,
you
bro.
too, man. We'll
love.
see you soon.
Peace
See you,
out.
Scott.
See ya.
All right, bye, man. See everybody. Bye, Marcus.
Bye bye.
the Nerf leg, and then it's just like every Nerf football you've ever seen that has like gnarly holes just bitten out of it everywhere. Like it looks like it's been chewed on by a wombat.
Yep.
Wombat.
Wombat.
I used to throw a wombat.
When the wind blows.
Random disc reference and animal
It
reference.
whistles.
How often do you ever talk about a wombat? That's
Man,
kinda-
you know, a wombat was really good for me at one point. I kept throwing it real straight, and then I didn't.
right.
You know, first tree, boom,
Boom.
understable. Too much understable.
Well, I can honestly say I've never thrown a wombat.
Man,
wombat.
the Wombat 3, though. That Wombat 3.
That's
The question is, was there a wombat too?
is that the one that Girthy throws?
No, there was never a Wombat 2.
You know, with the way these times are right now, they
Jay
should,
and
like,
David, act
they
like y'all
should
are
start-
friends.
There's got to be
They
a
should,
Wombat
they
2.
should start like releasing the twos, like wombat 2. Go
How's
backwards.
the overhead?
Hey, man, we
You don't have to cuddle or anything. It was just,
are we correct?
No, I'm always off to the side.
You're missing the mic.
Jay's always trying to escape. Like I had,
wait,
like he
wait.
doesn't
Find
want
the,
to.
hard.
find the label on the front.
It's hard to talk
No,
to
no, no.
you.
Find the label on the front. Oh, wait. There you go. No,
That's why, like when we were talking to Scott, I
I'm
was
gonna
like,
say when
Jay,
you're hot.
you're not saying
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
He's hot.
I feel like you're always trying to escape, get away from the show.
No.
You're over there just silent, and every once in a while, and you're just like inching your way.
Hey, get me away from this.
I
I don't want to be no part of this.
I didn't sign up for this.
I get enthralled with the
I'll tell
conversation.
you what.
Jay, why don't you just move
I
everything
cannot-
closer to you?
I cannot wait till
Yeah.
those goddamn things come in. It's fucking boom mounts.
Jay,
Boom
Marcus.
mounts. Oh, the top boom
it's,
mounts?
it's
No,
done
we got
for that
like,
one. It's done for that one.
We got some new stuff coming. Yeah, that's exciting news too about the podcast, you guys. We got new.
It's loosened up somehow over here every time.
No, it's bent is what I'm talking about.
It's fine.
It's great.
I love it.
Jay can't wait till we get the new booms so he can
Hold
break
on.
those too.
Let me check to see if they're delivered. It's supposed to be here tonight by 8.
Ooh.
It's 8:22. Let's see if you've done your job, Amazon.
Snow
Damn.
Stokely just left the podcast. Now we got David to my right. He's gonna give us more info and take it to
Freaking Frost stuff.
This is for you, Dr. Hoy. I have no clue how you're not right here right now.
What
Thanks for saving people.
We're doing him homage.
Fresh in effect in the Sapphire Lounge.
We did it again.
Boom.
Hey,
What up?
hey, who, hi, who, hey, wow, yeah, ho.
We are off the rails.
Off it.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here before too long. But man, so I know what part of I know you lived in Rutherford County before you got your place out in Cottontown, correct? Or south of that, more like Columbia.
That's good. That is correct. I grew up in Murfreesboro since I was 8 years old.
Okay.
From Savannah, Georgia. Savannah.
You a Vols fan or Georgia fan?
Neither.
Neither. All right. Who are you fanning for?
I'm a fan of disc golf.
Sports ball.
Sports ball? No sports ball teams?
You know, man. I
See what happened was.
see what had happened was, I've played ball sports my whole life, and I enjoy watching the games, but I just don't keep up with it, man.
I got you.
You know,
Hey.
that's just the kind of person that I am. I enjoy arts and music and disc golf.
Yeah, I
you
remember
go.
being young and like I was all about
And I don't
football and
think there's-
basketball and stuff, but it's like everybody is. And then at some point in your life, you have latched onto the things that are really important to you. And sometimes, and for me, it was kind of the same thing. Like the passion for traditional sports, by and large, has kind of slipped to the wayside.
You know,
Especially because pro football became kind of a joke. You know what I mean? Like you watch that shit now, and it's.
lots of rules that just make it unfun to watch.
I mean, I remember thinking to myself at some point, it just seemed like every significant game, like the outcome of it was completely determined by a very questionable series of calls, and it was kind of like how many times, and it wasn't like. And it was like anytime you're watching a divisional championship or a playoff game or anything like that, you're just like something crazy. Like I remember the Super Bowl one year, the opening kickoff, dude grabs a hold of this thing and runs it from in the end zone all the way zipping and dodging and flipping around other people and gets all the way to the other end and it finally goes down, I think, at like the 4-yard line, and they called it back. Not because of anything that you would have ever heard about, like too many men on the field or illegal formation or false start or anything like that. It was because of what I could understand best as described. Just they were not and they had a couple guys that weren't in the exact right place or something weird like that. It was some really obscure thing that I'd never heard called before, and that epic opening kickoff got called back, much like the frost toss in the blizzard of 2021. I thought we were going to be done with all this crazy drama and stuff after 2020. I thought 2021 was supposed to be better, and then we get frozen solid over the entire country for
2020 was a ramp. It was just like, hey.
We're on the off ramp from 2020.
No. It was like like Evil Knievel, like. Just,
oh yeah. Like Dukes of Hazzard style,
yeah.
like.
Hey, that was 2020. So now
but I really do think that ramp is going to lead us to good places.
So far, it's gone well. So far, it's gone
all you have
well.
to do is stick the landing.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. You
So-
always got to stick the landing. Bad things happen.
But right now, we're still in the air. And
Yeah.
there are flames and circles we're going through.
We're
It's
metaphorically speaking about disc golf.
Let's just make it as memorable as
Hey,
we possibly
crazy.
can.
Take it wherever you want, bro.
you know,
I'm trying to draw a picture here, okay? You know,
hey,
Evil
listen.
Knievel,
Hey,
we're jumping off the
we're
ramp
going
here.
through the flames.
We're going through the flames, yeah. And those flames are kind of hot. We can feel them.
They
It's
are
like a ring
hot.
of fire, if you will.
Exactly what we were going
Hey,
for
how
there.
about look at the TV? The haze is gone.
Hey, how about that?
Like you're all perfect. You're all crystal clear now.
What do we do?
We wrestled
differently?
with it. Well, we got a new camera, and Marcus got us new lights, and nothing was working right. And then we got Scott on, and the new aerial camera that I'll show. You know, the cool. Oh, hey, look, everybody's all in the same room. It's not all weird. Remember how people used to always talk crap because we were on the wrong sides? Oh my gosh! I had the windows arranged so like me and Marcus were on the left, and you guys were on the right.
Yep.
And so we would be pointing at each other, but
Oppositely.
pointing the opposite direction of off the screen. And every once in a while, somebody would mention that to me, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I should probably swap those." And then I just never remembered to do it. And then for the longest time, I remembered to do it. I had it swapped on the like normal studio camera scene, but then when I have a different scene for our remote guests where the Zoom is included, and on that one they were still swapped the original way. So it was like we'd have a remote guest, and it would be everybody would be like, oh, finally they're on the right side of each other, and then we'd get a remote guest. They'd be like, what the?
Now we're live.
We're getting better.
Yeah, we're getting better.
It's
We
a
have an
growth
aerial
thing. It's a
There's a lot
camera.
of
growth thing.
technicalities here going on, people.
So soon to have
Look
new
at him.
new
Look at
bunch
him.
of different stuff. Hopefully,
We're having way
it's
too much
also
fun.
delayed our podcast upgrades. All this snowmageddon, if you will.
Yeah, new mics, new booms, new cables. We're going off the rails. And again, you guys,
All right.
as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, everything is at Last Cash Podcast or lastcashpodcast@gmail.com. Biggest contributor every month is going to get something special from the arsenal, and Justin Morris is going to take home a couple of these bad boys for all of his support. And we're going to give stuff away for the biggest contributor to the show every month. So give us your money.
What'd you say? You're gonna let somebody dive into your collection too?
Ooh.
Yeah, for Krista Gillies GoFundMe. So anybody that donates $100 or more to that gets to rummage through my collection. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then here pretty soon we're gonna have stuff like legit podcast stuff that we can give away to
Absolutely.
people too. So shirts,
So be on
hoodies,
the lookout.
discs. It's gonna be fun.
I'm working on that logo.
Yeah. Where's the logo at, dude?
That's it.
Let me see if the pics
Is there a
will
couple
actually
logos?
work.
What?
No. I don't know what's going on
Maybe-
there. I had a bunch of pics lined up on a
I
slideshow
mean,
that
did
I
you
could
not see
play.
his disc, the WM right there? It was
No, I
pretty
saw
nice.
that. Oh, you working on your logo?
I gotta do one too. I mean,
What? Yeah.
my name with the WM on there. With the,
No, not with the WM.
come on, bro.
No, of course not.
Yeah, I mean,
No, just I didn't realize
we
you were
go.
gonna make your own disc. That's awesome. I should do that just as well.
Yeah.
Some custom stamp judges
let's go.
It's pretty
and the
freaking
swirl
sweet.
classic card.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I'll
I can
show
see
you
that.
guys something.
That's all I'm getting though. That and harps. I'll get some harps.
I took the center of my stamp out and colored it.
Yo,
A little logo.
Did you do it by hand? You colored it by hand?
No, I did it with an app on my phone.
That's
Oh,
pretty
just-
legit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be like
Hopefully,
my logo.
are you going to go send foil stamps when you get your actual disc?
Is that woolly
Or
mammoth?
are you just going, what kind of stamps you going to go with?
There's the actual stamp right there.
WM.
Or what kind of foils you going to go with? Not stamps.
All the cool ones, jelly bean,
All of them?
whatever I can get. I mean, I don't know what's going to be on the order form when there's actually anything on the order form because there's nothing been on the order form for the longest time.
Judges.
Like it's crazy because at first I knew something was wrong because Derek in Emporia, Derek Saver, he was sending me pictures of the warehouse where you could see through the racks from one end of the warehouse to the other, and I've never seen it like that. And then, of course, now you can't get discs from anywhere. But I think the cool thing is, and here's something for us to talk about. Have you guys heard what Discraft is doing now?
No.
So retail stores, Discraft.
Oh, yes, I have heard this.
Disc who?
Lay it.
Never heard of her. Yeah, apparently retailers, the only way that they can get Discraft products now is, and this is like even Discraft licensed retailers, is by paying a certain amount and they get a box of a certain amount of discs, no input whatsoever on what discs they get. That seems
That's ballsy.
pretty out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Confirmed
is that
or
confirmed?
deny. Who
But I
knows?
guess if you're at the point where that's all you can do,
Is that-
and you've sold and you become that popular,
Is that
I mean,
is that public information? Or is
yeah,
that
yeah, it's been talked about on Smashbox. It's been talked about on.
Well, I didn't know this. This is crazy.
Yeah, and Innova is doing something crazy, and I'm not going to air that out because I am hazy on the details. I remember somebody was telling me, I was talking to probably J Ray or somebody was telling me about what's going on, but Innova is even harder to come by or in a different way. Like basically people are having a really hard time getting discs right now, and crazy measures are being taken.
Sure, I'm sure everybody is.
Yeah, but I mean, I can say with confidence because I was just talking to Eric McCabe and Gabe and everybody in Emporia last night. And they're saying by March they're going to be stocked. They've got a bunch of containers coming from Sweden. So they're not going to be limiting their retailers or the customers. They're going to be trying to get back up to speed. And there's steps in place to like start producing more of the baseline stuff here stateside or more of that stuff to fill the big box orders so they can do more TFRs and things like that.
Well, I will say that we did get 90 custom stamp discs from Millennium within 12 days. Thank you, Millennium.
Well, shout out to Millennium.
Frost House.
And that's another cool thing. Millennium is picking up some steam, man. And I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the details on this yet, but I can say that if they haven't announced this yet, which I haven't seen an official announcement, but they are about to announce a new team captain for Millennium. And it's somebody everybody knows. And I know even just here locally, because we've got Telly and DJ that have been sponsored by Millennium, but now Chase Van Berkeley is also sponsored by Millennium.
Yep.
No way.
Yep.
Oh, awesome. Good for him.
Yep, we just picked him up.
Congrats.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, Millennium, hopefully maybe looking to push off with some big steam coming into 2021. That'd be cool to see. And apparently they're still moving discs, and nobody else is. So that's good biz.
Yeah, absolutely.
And your discs are beautiful, too. I didn't realize those were Millennium.
These are all Millennium. I think I only brought
Scorpius
here tonight.
Oh, is that what that is? Like it has like the longest name in the world on the back of the disc. What's
Telly
it say?
throws those
There's a
extra
falcon
miles.
as well.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That is a falcon. There
Okay, I was trying to figure out, I was like-
Sirius falcon, and
Series Falcon. Okay, that's what that says.
And there's like a secondary color in there too. It's not like I wouldn't call it like I don't know if that's like
that
I like that one. That's beautiful.
Has like a blue and silver transition, which really makes it look extra frosty.
I don't have a Scorpius.
the
here.
plastic
What's up with
too.
this one, man?
It seems like it's got some color
The
action.
plastic is great, man. If you guys haven't ever thrown a Scorpius, it's the bomb.
I've watched Telly do it.
Talk to me about this X right
And,
here. Talk to me about that.
So that's just an X out disc.
Okay.
Means there's a flaw somewhere in the stamp or
Do they fly? Are they legal?
No.
they fly.
Are they legal?
Sure.
Of course they're legal.
Are they for sale?
They are for sale.
Not just yet.
But we have 76 players signed up for the Frost Toss and 81 spots open. So we opened an extra 9 spots for the Frost Toss, in thinking that we were going to still hold the Frost Toss on the original date and thinking some people may drop out. So if you do want to get into the frost toss, there are I believe 8 spots still open,
Not for long.
but not for long. And those 8 spots, everybody past 72 players, you will get your spot in the frost toss. But unfortunately, not one of these discs in your players pack. You'll still get a beer token and lunch. Lunch will be provided also, and that will be coming in your players pack.
Oh.
And
And that's what you need to know.
And that's all you need
And
to know.
that's the info.
That's about it. That good?
That's
No,
the info.
but let me paint a picture for you though. I mean, this is a really special tournament.
This is an experience.
This is an experience.
This is a festival of discs and brews.
I mean, the first sauce toss we ever had was just magnificent, man. We had live music. We had people out at this course, 2 rounds, and it became something that was just all about fun.
So important you had to make a frost toss. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, the sauce toss went so good. I mean, we had glow golf at the end of the night. Duh. We had the course lit up with glow sticks and live DJ.
Sounds a lot like Ogween.
It was pretty epic, man.
Yeah.
And so frost toss came along. Why not? So it may be in the works for us to do a hoss toss.
With horses?
Hoss toss.
Halloween toss.
No, this is gonna no. This is gonna be for all the big hosses, all the big pros. We've been given permission to use the land. Right from Briar Scratch all the way to the Snake Farm property, which has got a lot of big open shots in it that also have some elevation change and a little bit of woods to work with. And then combining a few of those holes back at the original frost toss course. Thinking we could push it to, somewhere around 10,000 feet.
It's a big one.
Challenge. They trying to challenge Ravenwood?
Well, it sounds like
it's a
that's what he's
beast.
doing. Yeah.
We've got the
That's
room
not
for it.
quite there yet, though.
But I think 10
Gotta be a little closer to 12.
I think
10's fine.
10's
10's a good course.
10 is solid. Yeah.
10 might be pushing it, but I think we could fit at least 8.
I mean, that's
In there.
great. Yeah.
And that'll be called the Hoss Toss.
Hoss.
And will only be available to players.
You gonna do it like ratings based, like cap it?
Ratings based, yeah. I'm thinking like, what do you guys think? 920 and above?
I'd say 30. If you're gonna specifically
nine-
single it out, raise the bar, dude.
930 and above?
925 so I can get in.
Because here's another thing too.
Well, hey, I dropped from 940 to 918 this year. I had a very bad
You can't
MCO.
play. You can't play.
I had a very bad MCO, and so I can't even play the tournament. If I'm gonna put on a house toss, I can't even play.
They might sneak you in.
Shit. I mean, I may know somebody that could sneak me in.
Yeah, I mean, there's more of that ratings-based kind of caps and staggerings and stuff going on these days, and now it's a requirement for the Elite Series events that for the National Tour registration, it has to be tier-based, staggered by ratings.
Right.
And so,
and I think that would be a huge tournament. If we got some really decent players out there.
and that's one way you could do it. You could do it like say open it for 1,000 and above right off the bat. And then
1,000 and above.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, because hey, I've got famous friends, I can invite people to this thing. But no, I'm saying if we hype up the course, we got some good media of it, and we have enough time to promote it, and then we say we do what we do is, and hear me out.
Wait, who said house?
1,000 for a
Did
week.
you say house?
I said
Hoss.
Hear me out.
Hoss.
See, you said it.
Hear me out. Hear me
You
out.
said it.
Hear me out. 1,000 and above for a week, and then you open up 930 and above for a week, and then you open it up to everybody. Okay, so that's one way you could do it.
Yeah, because actually, It's really good
but
because
I mean, we're never gonna have concrete tee pads out there. I mean, it's just not available.
Well, it's going to be something that people are going to come to if they want to. You
Right.
know what I mean? And,
Right.
and so you're not going to get probably Paul Macbeth and James Conrad.
It's probably never going to be sanctioned because there's never going to be tee pads on that property.
Right.
It's a private property. It's in a beautiful piece of the holler that's not ever going to be disturbed.
The other benefit to that is you push people to up their rating. If you have enough time to promote it, and they got enough time to be like, it's going to be limited to.
It would. I think we're pushing for pretty much all unsanctioned events from here on out because we really just don't have the the capability to pour concrete tee pads out there or anything, or even temporary.
Well, I mean, you can do C tier on earthen pads and stuff, and you can have earthen pads in an A tier. So I mean, you want them to be good, but it's possible. Paver stones are a great idea. We're seeing those a lot more, and they're easy to.
The property's maintained by someone else who's been gracious enough to let us use their land.
Gotcha.
So it's not our land to really work with, and it is such beautiful land.
Ask for forgiveness, bro.
Protect it.
Not to say, I mean, the same person that owns this land is the same person that's given me permission to build my 18-hole golf course on his land that's right adjacent to my property.
Perfect.
So, if we did decide to do a real house,
Yeah. Okay. Now you're talking.
we might be able to maybe convince him, maybe put a couple pieces of carpet down there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple pieces of turf.
Yeah. I mean, you can even get more creative than that and do something that would probably be doable. I played at a course called Grand Central Station in Central South Carolina, and they had pads that had they were real big and they were framed in. They had 1 or 2 bys sunk into the ground on edge, and then so that kind of framed the whole thing in. And they had pea gravel or number 10 or quarter inch, whatever it was that was poured initially. Then those rubber mats that you see in restaurant kitchens.
Yep.
They had those on top of that, and then they had more pea gravel or whatever, the fine gravel spread over that. Pressed down on top of it was chicken wire, and that was pressed down by the boards around the tee pad, and then more gravel on top. So the chicken wire was tight on the rubber, so you weren't your shoes weren't getting torn up by the chicken wire, but it held the rubber in place and kept it from slipping.
Right.
And with the gravel on top, and I played it in the rain, and it gripped like concrete.
Yeah, man.
But it's elaborate. It's a Broadway production.
I love that, man. I got several tee pad ideas. I'd love to build some paver patios out there and some tee pads, and I'd love to do it. But the fact is the land is being leased to us essentially.
Yeah.
And
barred.
Right. Lent, and he's letting us also party on his land and be back there on a beautiful piece of Tennessee land where you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful part of the Frost Toss is you can go out there and kind of release yourself and be a part of something that you don't get to be a part of in any other disc golf tournament.
Yeah.
Nobody else goes to a disc golf tournament like that, where it's just a full day party.
Right.
And also a great disc golf tournament.
Mm-hmm.
The course is beautiful. We've got some tight technical shots, some long open shots, some left, right. It's not really left hand or forehand, right hand dominant. There's going to be a couple holes that piss you off, but they're forgiving. So you just got to make your way across the creeks.
Yeah.
And play your game, and always yell, "Frost House!"
Man, and that's always kind of how I felt about Ogwood before I was on the board for the club. Man, I was prepared to just run tournaments at Ogwood forever.
Well, I mean, these are the only tournaments I'm interested in running in.
Yeah. Well, and
I've ran the B tiers and I mean, sanctioned tournaments, and they're fun, man. But you're always going to have somebody that's going to complain, and it's a lot of stress. And I commend everybody that does it. It takes a team to run that kind of event. It really does, and everybody's got to be on their P's and Q's and be there and be ready to answer any questions and be there ready to talk to the PDGA. But this kind of tournament, man, I get to run it and have a good time and supply everybody else with a good time and make sure that everything's running smoothly and sit back and just watch everybody create memories.
Yeah.
And that's what it's really all about at the Frost Toss.
That's what I fell in love with about TDing. The first time I ran a trilogy challenge, it was like 25 people, and I was just like, oh man, like I've created this opportunity for these people to love to enjoy themselves the way I first did, because there was like new people playing out there, and that was what it was about. It was like you're facilitating that awesome experience for other people.
Well, and a lot of people are afraid to join a tournament because they're or a sanctioned tournament because they're afraid about, oh, what are people going to think about me? I'm going to break all these rules, and I've only been playing disc golf for this long.
Yeah.
Whereas the Frost Toss, I mean, we've got it broke down in all divisions, but I mean, everybody's out there having a good time, and if you have any complaints to make, then you're probably not the right person to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all out there having a good time, and everybody's just doing that.
Well, and that was, that's a big reason why the club has so much unsanctioned stuff. And we talk about it often. Specifically, I think of the episode with Steve Kearns, but as we grow it and we run the NTs and we bid for world championships and majors, and while we blow stuff up like that, it's important that we continue to have the unsanctioned events that are all about that spirit, that fun, that epic good time, and that keeps the spirit alive.
I mean, I think that's
the future.
That's what I mean. A big part of disc golf is losing right now. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, everybody's about growing the sport.
Well, not around here.
Yeah. Well, not around here.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd say, I guess. Not in general. I'm just saying I do see a lot of that about growing sport and having more sanctioned tournaments and having more money in it, and we need to do this and we need to do this and we need to grow the sport, and I feel like it's almost like a forced growth.
Yeah.
Whereas it hasn't grown organically. Where in say here in the past couple months, like with COVID, I think that's an organic growth because people are looking for something to do. They're looking to get out of the house. They're looking to do something, and they can't go anywhere else. And people are posting articles about how disc golf is a great way to get out of the house, but not be around people. And people are going out, and you've seen this explosive growth happen in the past couple of months. And I think that organic growth is good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's a lot of forcing growing the sport where just the get-togethers, the hangs, the unsanctioned events, the weekly doubles, the get-togethers, I mean, those are the things that really bring people together.
Yeah.
And
get
to know each other.
We'll create a community, create relationships.
Get to know each other and create that community, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's what disc golf is all about.
That's the foundation, for sure. Yeah,
right.
Right.
We all need that attitude.
Right.
And that's why I get really encouraged when I see more alternate format type stuff going on. Like more of the match play, more of the, bringing back other formats of the game that haven't been played a lot in an organized way for a long time. And that's why it's cool to see the All-Star weekend that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, it's really cool because you see somebody like Kona Panis, who's a hell of a golfer and an awesome person, and she's always just skirting around the edge of the spotlight. Sure. And a lot of people, I'm sure, are a lot of trolls and certain types of people on the internet would probably say that the only reason that she won was because of the alternate format that they kind of dabbled with, and it changed multiple times before it actually went down, but that's just cool stuff because people get to see the fun side of disc golf, and those aren't points that are counting towards your year or qualifying for any events or anything like that. And you see them get to have more fun with each other. A lot of people following disc golf, fans of disc golf, get caught up in all the perceived drama and think that these players out on the road are just at each other's throats and all this stuff. But they've been spending their lives together weekend in and weekend out for years and years and years. They know each other very, very well. And you're seeing more of this mic'd up stuff, and that's cool because you get to see more of that dynamic between these people, and you get to see them in a relatable way where it's just like us, where they're totally comfortable around each other. They throw a bad shot, they're like, guys, and they, and they're joking around and ribbing each other and roasting each other, and it's all in good fun. I love seeing that because that's the kind of stuff, especially when it's in a big spotlight like that, that's the kind of stuff that preserves that spirit and keeps that spirit cultivated. It's good stuff
For sure. Yep.
and then Paul too, obviously that is a testament to the legitimacy of the event because Kona is one upset, but Paul obviously he's a shoe-in to win just about anything that he enters. So it's like, well, the format didn't upset that, you know what I mean? Kona played her butt off, and she won, so she deserves every bit of that, and it's cool to see her getting that shine and more women being in the spotlight like that. It's dope.
Agree.
And then also going into
Vegas.
Vegas, and so that's generating a lot of buzz for the Pro Tour and the stuff that's happening. But you're starting to see these pros that are on the road getting more and more creative and doing more and more stuff that they want to see, just stuff that they're interested in, like Paige carrying a camera around at that private course in California right after the shutdown, and her and Perkins and Steve Rico and Philo, I think, were the four that played. And they brought in sponsors so that there was money that they were playing for, and they just filmed it themselves, the four of them, on this private course while they were quarantining together. And it wasn't sanctioned, it wasn't anything, but that's the kind of thing. There's an opportunity there. All these media companies trying to get into the game, these newer ones like Ace Run Pro and So Blue and all these different newer, smaller production companies trying to get a foot in the game, and people are clamoring for content. Well, get creative.
Sure.
Show something special, something that people aren't seeing already. That's how you generate a following. But I rant. Hey,
Hey, man. What you talking about that Frost Toss?
All right.
But yeah, I was going to mention it was interesting because I will always shout out Brian Earhart's podcast, The Flight Diary. I think it's the best podcast in disc golf. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. Recent 2-part episodes with Paul Macbeth, and really cool insight from him on a lot of different things. But we always talk about the basket argument on the show, and
Sure.
he has a really interesting perspective on it that they talk about in depth on that in the second part, I think.
Shut up. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, the one thing that I don't hear anybody saying, except for Paul, is that while everybody's arguing the size of the chain assembly and everything like that, and the top band and all of that, the basket itself, he pointed out, was designed for when we were still playing with lids.
Yeah.
And it's
not
never,
changed.
and so like you look at a basketball hoop or a golf hole, and it's twice the diameter of the object that's supposed to go in it. And so he was pointing out, he's like, we have a catching device that is more than twice the diameter of what we are throwing, and so that's why you're seeing so many chain outs and stuff like that. It's not because there's something wrong with the chain assembly. We don't need to cross the chains and do all this crazy stuff. If we would have the cage and we would just condense it to the appropriate size for our projectile, then we would have a disc golf target, rather, because that's not what we're using right now. It's not a disc golf target. It's like a Frisbee target,
Sure. So it's a little bit.
You're looking at me funny. You have thoughts.
Well, I mean,
See, a ball rolls.
Oh yeah, and that's a totally the surface, the playing surface is totally different, and the comparisons between ball golf and disc golf are tired and played out.
Right.
But there's a lot of misperceptions about that. A lot of that was to generate more drama on the green, and that's not where you're going to have the drama in disc golf.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it could be.
You agree? Disagree?
Oh, I totally agree because I'm always like up for some kind of like new change. I got a bullseye basket in the backyard if anybody wants to challenge me. But more than that, if you think about like ball golf, the size of the
Neighbor's got a garage we haven't hit yet, too.
Oh yeah, I do have some new neighbors. White, brand new garages.
I thought you were going to say the neighbors.
I totally thought that was going there.
Well, they are, to be fair. To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Tip of the week. 2
David.
weeks.
He's the man. What's your tip of the week?
What do you have for us that new golfers somebody can like?
Oh! I thought you were talking about life tips. Hold on.
Just
It can be
Just a
life
tip.
tips. It can be any tip
Just
you
a
want.
tip.
It can be a life tip, long as it has to do with disc golf.
Okay.
Sure.
Somewhat relatable or connectable. You can be abstract.
My tip
All right, we're
is-
going there.
Sorry, Jay.
You're good.
Jay has almost escaped from the podcast.
Again?
My tip is
He's hiding.
just like we were talking about the baskets just now. You know, they make baskets in all shapes and forms and sizes, and we're all confused about them. If we're gonna X those chains, we're gonna cross those chains, we're gonna put more chains on it, we're gonna put less chains on it. But the thing about it is you can commit to them chains all you want to, but they'll never catch.
And the winner for tip of the week goes to.
Somehow he gave us just the tip, but I feel like we got the whole thing. It's up there.
Holy shit.
It's
I was about to say holy shit. That's what I said.
Please put it up. Pineapple.
No matter how much effort you put into them chains,
They ain't never gonna catch.
But that basket, it'll
no
hold
matter
that
how
disc.
much commitment, no matter how much love you put into them chains,
Yeah.
they ain't gonna catch.
What about those times like when they actually do catch and your disc is like caught by the.
You're like, oh, thank gosh, it caught it.
Yeah.
I've had those.
Yeah.
A good catch,
Like
buddy.
it,
Good
it,
catch,
it
basket.
never falls into the basket. It just like stays in the chains. Those are my favorites.
That's great. Man, it's funny, Jay. You've straightened up since I noticed it, but this was really funny a minute ago. I was trying to get your attention to look at it, but Jay was like leaning down, hunkering down like that, and how I was just talking about, he was trying to escape from the show. It looked
Yeah.
like he was trying to duck down behind the logo, like he was like getting closer and closer.
Trying.
Like he was trying.
You're
to get
on-
his head
you're
right
on
above
to
there.
me.
Go.
You're on to me.
Oh, I see you.
It's like that little dude pops up in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, yeah, that guy.
Goodness.
That was a fun game. That was like, yeah, what a great game. They don't make games like that anymore. There's
Nope.
another remake coming soon, I'm sure. All right. So real quick, I want to congratulate you just because you found your happy place. You're out there. You've got your home just how you wanted it. Your own course in your backyard. You've got an art zone and a music zone and a yummy food zone happening at your domicile. And that is just a peace generating recipe for life right there.
Thank you, man. It is a beautiful life. I love it.
That's what I hope for myself one day. Have a place like that. That's a goal. That's life goals, man. And you are, incredibly young to have been able to bite off a piece of life like that as solidly as you have. And shout out your business right now too.
Yeah, it's a Wiley Stone, David Wiley Stone design, Wiley Stone LLC. What I do is I take people's backyards and turn them into something that's just
Works of
damn
art.
beautiful. I love doing what I do. I consider myself a bit of an artist, and I like to take that into my work. As a hardscape engineer, I would call myself. I take stonework and I do it in your backyard, and I'll make you the best paver patio, fireplace, kitchen, fire pit, retaining wall, outdoor kitchen.
You guys,
All of it.
He's not lying. In one of the breaks, you will look for some pictures because he did. I had him send me some pictures of the patio that you put in out of Briar Scratch.
I did do a
beer
patio
mug.
out at Briar Scratch Brewery, which is where we will be partying for the Frost Toss.
Durr.
We're gonna have a little bit of an after party at the Frost Toss. I think March 13th might just be good enough weather to camp. Camping is encouraged. Camping is free, and there's a lot of places to camp.
Camp.
Please show up early. Show up a day before if you want to. Contact me. Go onto the disc golf scene and contact me. The tournament's pretty much full. I think there's 7 spots left.
You said 8.
It was full, and then I extended it to 9 more.
okay.
And that just means we're gonna have 9 fivesomes out there, but that's okay.
Everybody knows what they're getting into. They're there for the fun.
They know what they're getting into, and it's gonna be the course play.
The longer the
really
backup
smooth.
is, the more fun you get to have.
It really does play smooth. I think we get through one round out there in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So it plays smooth out there. And hope to see you guys all out there at the Frost Toss. Everybody who's listening is coming. Frost Toss! I hope to see all y'all out there. It's going to be the frostiest
tossiest event
I hope it's not too frosty.
ever. No, it probably won't be too frosty.
Baby,
Yeah.
I'm gonna butter your bread.
And then I'm gonna.
You guys are really taking it there tonight.
Definitely more than the tip.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
No.
No, but yes, join us at the Frost Toss. Well, if you're there, you're already there, and if you haven't gotten there, then Sauce Toss in the summer.
Yep.
That's usually going to happen in July, August, sometime around in there. We haven't gotten a specific date for that,
Good luck.
but yeah, because that's when all the events are happening.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about, overlapping events.
Yep.
But
Don't get your feelings hurt, folks. People are going to be scheduling events on top of you, closer than you would like. And guess what? It's all up to you. There are plenty of golfers to go around. If somebody else's event on the same weekend fills up and yours doesn't, guess what? It's not their fault. It's your
Sorry.
fault. It's your fault. You didn't promote it enough. You didn't provide enough of a teaser for somebody to get in there and really want to get a part of it. You didn't do it. And it's not a personal attack. It's not a judgment on your ability. It's just saying, hey, figure out what one person is doing that you're not, or what they're doing better than you, and step up your game, because everybody is capable of running great events, but you got to get people to them.
What
Yeah,
he
no.
said.
To play it.
It's day one stuff, people.
Yeah. Like the Frost Toss. Frost Toss. All right. So, yeah,
Frosty
everybody
toasty.
holler at Wiley. See if you can get 20, 30 people on the wait list for the Frost Toss.
Frost Toss?
Yeah, shit. If you build it, they'll come, right?
Surely they do.
As Kevin Costner says.
Said for sure.
Said back in the day.
For sure.
I'm pretty sure he probably still says it every once in a while.
Just for fun.
How could you be Kevin
Oh,
Costner and have done that movie and not say it every once in a while?
Every-
Because imagine if like a moment like just happened where there's an opportunity. You think he doesn't turn around and go, well, if you build it.
I'm sure it's come up once or twice.
Everything he's built in his entire life since that movie.
Right. Every single time.
Yellowstone.
Every chicken
probably
coop, every
was amazing.
doghouse, every
he's
birdhouse.
probably paid somebody to build things for him.
Probably
Hey,
probably
but
true.
you know what?
That's
If you
very
build
probably
it-
true.
They'll come.
Yeah, and we are. Yeah, before this gets any more delirious, it is getting a little late, and you got a long drive. But
Yeah,
thank
thank
you so
you.
much, man, for coming out
Thank
here.
you, Will. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
The place is awesome. Marcus, this is super sweet.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
you.
He totally took it to a new level.
Yep.
We're at a whole nother level.
Upgrade you. Let me upgrade you.
That's right.
Great.
Oh, what's going on there?
Thank you, everybody.
Potatoes.
Thank you, everybody. I don't know what camera's doing what anymore,
Right.
but I love you, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, subscribe, rate, and review. Support the show, and we got more cool stuff coming. Stay tuned,
Naughty night.
and we'll catch you on the flip, episode 28 next week with Murder Mike.
Murder.
I totally got to remember to do that.
I've got a mini. I got a mini.
Murder.
Let the bass kick.